acing a job interview. It's tough enough as it is, right? But then, when English isn't your first language, oh boy, it feels like you're suddenly playing on hard mode.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That language barrier, it's like this whole extra layer of, complexity. But hey, the good news is with the right approach, you can totally own it. And that's actually what we're diving into today, how to tackle those classic, kind of tricky interview questions, all in English.
Exactly. And you know what? We've got a great place to start. This YouTube channel, Career Vids, they've got this video, tons of views, so clearly people are finding it useful. They break down 7 super common questions, and I really like how they don't just give you those surface-level answers.
Yeah, I agree. They really get into the why, which is honestly so key because it's not just about, sounding fluent. It's about understanding what those interviewers are really looking for and how to really get that across even when English isn't, your native language.
So let's jump right in. That classic opener. Tell me about yourself. Sounds simple, right? But I don't know why. It always throws me off a bit. Where do you even begin?
Right. It's like the ultimate icebreaker, sets the tone for the whole thing. What I find interesting is career vids, they recommend the structure they call SEAT: skills, education, accomplishments, and type of person.
Oh, I like that. It's like a mental checklist, right? Make sure you're hitting those key points, but in a way that's, memorable. Reminds me of how, like, public speakers, they use structure to make their message stick. Our brains just latch on to patterns easier.
Exactly. And what's really clever, career vids, they actually tie it to a mnemonic device. You'll be sitting on a seat during the interview.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so smart, right? Helps remember under pressure.
Okay, I'm impressed. All right, let's move on. A question I've always found kind of tricky. Why do you want this job? Seems straightforward, but it's easy to fall into those generic answers, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And a generic answer, it won't make you stand out, that's for sure. Career vids, they really hammer home this point, aligning your passions, what you're really into, with the company's values, what they stand for, right? And then acknowledging the company's achievements.
It's like you're speaking directly to, like, their heart,
Right.
what they care about most, their company.
Exactly. And by highlighting how your skills, your interests, how they mesh with their mission, you're showing them, hey, I'm not just looking for any job, I'm looking for this job.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, strengths. What are your greatest strengths?
Yeah.
How do you answer that honestly without, sounding a little too confident, How do you walk that line?
Yeah. It's all about showing the value, right? Not just listing traits. Career vids, they recommend matching your strengths to what's actually in the job description, those specific requirements. So instead
Mhm.
of just saying, I'm a team player, you could say, I really thrive in these collaborative environments and I'm really skilled at bringing people together to, achieve that common goal.
And then ideally, you back it up with an example, right? A concrete example. Like, for example, in my previous role, I led this cross-functional team, and we successfully launched this whole new product line ahead of schedule.
Perfect. Exactly. You got it. By connecting those strengths to tangible outcomes, you make it so much easier for whoever's interviewing you to really see you already there, excelling in the role.
Okay, this next one, oh man, everyone's favorite. What is your biggest weakness? Always feels like a trap.
Right. It's a classic for a reason. They're testing you, seeing how self-aware you are. Worst thing you can do, I'm a perfectionist. Or even worse, I don't have any weaknesses.
Yeah.
Hmm. CareerVids suggests a way smarter approach, though, and it makes sense. Offer a genuine area for growth, something you really are working on, but frame it, positively.
So instead of I'm a terrible public speaker, it's more like, I'm totally comfortable presenting to small groups, love it even, but I am actively working on my confidence when it comes to larger audiences.
Well,
Something like that.
exactly. You're acknowledging that skill gap, but you're also showing them, hey, I'm all about self-improvement. And that's huge. They even mention in the video, like, it's okay to be nervous, it makes you relatable.
Yeah, everyone gets nervous, for
Yeah.
sure. Okay, this one always kind of throws me off. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? 5 years, that's
Well,
so far.
it's really about trying to figure out your long-term vision, right? And how that lines up with where the company sees itself going. What I thought was interesting, CareerVids recommends really focusing your answer on growth, but growth within the company. So even if you see yourself in a different role down the line, you want to emphasize that you're in it for the long haul, contributing to their success.
So less, I want to run my own company someday, and more like, I'm really excited about this opportunity, to learn and grow within this organization. And I definitely see myself taking on more challenging roles as time goes on.
Exactly. Shows you're invested in their future, not just using this job as a stepping stone to something else.
All right, let's tackle another tricky one. How would you deal with a conflict with a coworker? Yeah, how do you even answer that honestly without sounding like, I don't know, like you're going to cause drama?
Right. It's all about showing that emotional intelligence, right? How you navigate those like interpersonal things. CareerVids actually gives a helpful framework. First, you got to look at yourself. What's your role in this situation? Then actually talk to the coworker privately. And finally, really focus on finding a solution together.
So taking ownership, being proactive, aiming for that win-win.
Exactly. And you notice how that approach, it's all about being open, communicating, finding common ground, right? Not about placing blame, shows you can handle conflict maturely professionally.
Which, let's be honest, essential in any workplace.
Right.
Okay. Last but not least, the grand finale. Why should we hire you? Talk about pressure.
Right. This is it. This is your closing argument, your chance to really seal the deal. CareerVids, they give some pretty interesting advice here. Go beyond just giving one reason. Offer several, multiple concrete points that highlight what makes you unique, your value proposition.
So they recommend hitting 4 key areas.
Yeah.
Efficiency, how well you fit the job, your adaptability, and your commitment to self-development.
Exactly. And within those areas, you weave in specific examples, things you've done, skills you have that really connect back to the role. You want to leave them thinking, wow, this person, the best candidate.
It's like giving them a highlight reel, right?
See my potential.
Of your potential. Now, one thing I thought was really valuable, they talk a lot about practicing your answers out loud.
Oh, 100%. It's one thing to have, like, these perfectly crafted answers in your head, but to actually say them naturally, confidently in the moment, it's a whole other ballgame.
Oh, yeah, it's like anything else. Practice makes perfect, right?
Yeah.
CareerViz made a good point. Language is like a muscle.
Yeah.
The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Yeah.
True. I remember when I was, learning a new language myself, the more I actually spoke it, even if it was just to myself, the more comfortable I got, for sure.
Totally. And having a friend to practice with, even just reporting yourself, it helps you pick up on those little things, those areas where you might be stumbling or it just sounds a little unnatural.
Oh, yeah, better to catch it beforehand than during the actual interview, right? It's amazing, though, how much more confident you feel when you've actually practiced. Like that saying, right? Yeah. Confidence comes from being prepared.
Love that. And it's not about like memorizing a script, right? It's more about really taking in those key messages, those main points, and just delivering them in your own way, authentically. It's about like really showing them the best version of you, professionally and linguistically.
This whole deep dive has been so insightful, honestly. I feel like we've really unpacked not just, okay, what to say, but the why behind it all, And that's huge. That's what makes you feel empowered.
And even if you don't get every single job you interview for, just going through the process is so valuable. Each interview, it's a chance to grow.
Oh, 100%. It's a chance to refine your skills, how to handle those high-pressure situations. And it makes you think about your own goals, too.
Exactly. So, yeah, embrace the challenge. Each interview, think of it as a learning experience. And just remember, with the right prep, the right mindset, you can totally ace that interview in English.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you found it really helpful, really empowering. Remember, you got this.